It is over.
Hey guys, and welcome to our Thursday night preview of SummerSlam. Glad you could join us tonight. We are here, and I've got Jeff, I've got Jody with us tonight. Brandy was supposed to be on, but unfortunately she could not make it today, so we wish her well as always. But we are going to dive into the SummerSlam card tonight. We're going to give you our picks, and obviously we're going to go into a little bit of detail on the matches themselves and what maybe we think is going to happen in some of these matches. And we were just talking before the show, saying how, I'm pretty excited because this is a show that you really kind of can't tell what's going to happen. And now, in some of them, yes, but some of the bigger matches, especially, it's a little hard to decide what is going to happen with these matches, especially like Fiend and Braun, Seth and Dominik. There's so many different angles that you could go, and then, of course, Drew and Randy. Now there's rumblings saying that maybe Shawn Michaels took that punt the way he did because maybe Shawn's going to interfere and do something to Randy to make him lose, and going to lead into a Shawn and Randy thing. So there's all kind of rumors swirling around, and we will see how it goes. Maybe that'll be a match for Payback. Who knows? Obviously, it would be a good theme if Randy loses because of Shawn, and of course, he would want payback. So it definitely fits. But yeah, so very, very cool thing, cool card, and we are excited to talk about SummerSlam. Obviously, one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year for WWE. And let's get into the matches, shall we? Let me welcome some people here. Moda, hello to you. Famous KJ Carter, shout out to you. Joshua Mickelson, hello. Butterspark, hello. How are you today? Meme Collector 30, hello. John Cena Gamer 0809, hello. We have Foul joining us tonight. Hello, Foul. How are you? Nice to see you in the stream. So, let's, there you go. The Amway Center. Yes, that is where SummerSlam is being held. We all talked about this yesterday. Hello, James Chadwick joins us. We talked about this and how they're moving there, and they've got the Thunderdome, right? So we'll see what that's all about tomorrow night on SmackDown. For those of you who got invitations, I know Big Boy Dally, I know Jody did, myself. We'll see if we can, we'll see if we get in there, and we'll see what this is all about. We did see some shots today that kind of showed you what it looks like. Very, very reminiscent of the NBA. It looks a lot like the NBA, where you look into the crowd and you see kind of the square frame of the people that are online, basically. And that's the same way that the NBA is doing it as well. So very, very reminiscent of that. And of course, the dome around the ring looks cool. So you see the structure around the ring and everything like that. So I think it's going to be cool. I think it's something different. They're out of the Performance Center, which everybody was hoping that would happen. They're out of there. They're in a new place. So I'm excited for that as well, and excited to see how we get some of these entrances and things like that for all the wrestlers. So Jody and Jeff, Jody, are you excited about Sunday?
Yeah. Duh. I'm, as excited I am as about SummerSlam, I'm even more excited about our live stream. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Good shout. We are, as we are doing with NXT on Saturday, which also should be a great, great show. We are also streaming SummerSlam for the very first time. So yes, we are excited about that. Excited to bring it to you, to do a watch along with it. And it's going to be really cool to have the reactions on Sunday with SummerSlam. So yes, don't forget, you see it up on your screen. The watch along begins this Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have a little bit of a half an hour to talk to you guys before the pre-show. And then during the pre-show as well, we'll just have a whole lot of chat going on, talking about the show and what we're going to see and things like that, and some theories and this and that. That's the time to kind of dig in and get prepared for the show. So absolutely, absolutely. See Wrestling is here. Hello to you, Jeff. Got to be excited about the weekend, man, and got to be excited about SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm absolutely excited for Sunday. This is a huge weekend, though. Really looking forward to Takeover 30, but I'm really excited about SummerSlam and some of these matches that we have. Looks like it's going to be a pretty good Sunday.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Super exciting. It has been a crazy busy week for us, and it just continues. Tomorrow night, Jeff will be here with the hot tag. Don't forget to tune in for that. He will be talking about Junkyard Dog tomorrow night. So 6 o'clock, be there with Jeff. And then, of course, we've got TakeOver Saturday, and then we've got SummerSlam Sunday, Abby's on Monday to kind of talk about what happened on SummerSlam. And Kyle Scarborough has confirmed he will join us for Abby's window on Monday. Very exciting there, and it's going to be really cool. Kyle also said he's got something new he's going to talk to us about. So something brewing for Kyle. Yeah. Kyle said he's got something to bring up. So yeah, he's like, would you mind if I? And I'm like, no, man, you come on, you talk something.
We get an exclusive.
Yeah, we get a little something from Kyle. So exciting.
Right.
Exciting. And of course, I getting his reaction about the match on Sunday will be awesome as well. Oh man. And then we just continue Tuesday, Impact, Wednesday, the podcast. And then next Thursday, we're going to have another preview show for Payback. So,
Yep.
I mean, it just never ends, guys. It just never ends. The wrestling is just going and going and going. But look, it's really cool, really exciting for everybody. Don't forget, too, for you AEW fans, you got an AEW episode tomorrow as well, which God only knows what's going to happen. So many rumors about that as to who's coming there, who's going to show up. Now people are saying, no, it was rumors, it was fake. But, hey, you kind of expect that they're probably going to put on something tomorrow, might happen because they're kind of, they're going up against TakeOver a little bit. So, just so good and so exciting. Cannot wait. So let's dig in, shall we? And where should we start? Let's start off with the tag team match, right? Let's go with the tag team match for the tag team championship for WWE Raw. It is the Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza, and of course, Zelina Vega in the corner. Now, we got Zelina Vega being shown on camera poisoning Montez Ford. So now we kind of know that's, they're, weren't really sure who that was. Was it Retribution? Was it? But, of course, they showed
wonder if that means Zelina's involved with Retribution.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah, interesting thought. I'm sure that you might see Bianca Belair appear at some point in this match as well, get involved with this also. So, Jeff, what do you think of the tag team titles? Do you think Andrade and Garza have a shot here? I mean, they've kind of been losing a lot lately, especially in tag team matches. So, you think they have a shot at the titles, at taking away the titles from the Street Profits?
If we know anything about WWE and how they set things up, a lot of times before there's a big change, it seems as if we get people going on a losing streak. So as much as I want the Street Profits to win this, I think we get a little bit of trickery involved. Something happens, and I actually don't think we see the end result of this at SummerSlam. I think we're going to get a funky finish, and I do think that this may be one of the matches that we see continue their storyline at Payback. But I don't think we'll get a clean finish in this one. That's my prediction.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Jody, what do you think is going to happen in the tag team championship match?
First of all, I want to say to See Wrestling, shut up, or I'll tell everybody your real name. He said, I heard a rumor today that Braun has got Goldberg to do a run-in at SummerSlam to take down the Fiend for him.
Oh, God, no. No. He's on fire about Goldberg because he heard that he signed on for 2 more years. Good Lord.
Then Butterspark said Goldberg will lose his breath on the run-in, which is true.
Or knock himself out on the door outside of his locker room like he's done before. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with Jeff here. I think that we're not going to get a finish, because I think either that or Zelina Vega is gonna interfere in a way that ends the match, and then we get like a rematch at the next week. I forgot the name of that pay-per-view already.
Payback.
So
yeah.
Payback.
Yeah, with Payback out there, it makes everything such a, I don't know, it makes it such a like a different atmosphere because we never had you never had a back-to-back pay-per-view before. So it's really kind of odd. Like they can extend things because usually SummerSlam is an ending point, kind of like WrestleMania is an ending point. Feuds end at SummerSlam, but I guess they kind of can carry some stuff over from this. Yeah, good points, both of you. I honestly think, I'm going to go with Garza and Andrade here. The Street Profits have had a good run. They've carried the belts for quite a while. They've had it, all through that whole thing with the Viking Raiders, and so I don't know. I think it's kind of time for Andrade and Garza to maybe get a win here. How they're going to do it, I don't know. Obviously, Zelina might get involved. There might be a little trickery going on, but I kind of think that they steal this match somehow. Whether it's interference by Zelina, maybe interferes with one of the Street Profits and something along those lines happen. But I'm going to go with Andrade and Garza here. I don't know. I just have a funny feeling that they're kind of due, and I think they will win this match, and they will become the new tag team champions.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, let's move on, shall we? And our next match up, let's go with the women's match. Hair versus hair. Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville. I gotta love these matches. I mean, it's funny because this is one of those ones where it was rumored quite a while ago. Like someone had mentioned they should have a hair versus hair match. And then obviously when we saw her cut Mandy's hair, everybody's like, oh yeah, that, here we go.
Yep.
And, and of course, the rumors have been out there that, one of them, I'm not going to say who, I don't want to spoil it, but the rumors were out there said one of them wants a different look. So this is a good way to do that, obviously. But yeah, I mean, this feud has really been going on for a while. Heavy Machinery involved. Obviously, the Hacker was involved in this way back when. Remember the Hacker? Yeah, that was involved in this from the start as well. And of course, then we got Miz and Morrison involved on us as well. So a lot of moving pieces with this feud. But I think it should be a good match. A lot of bad blood, a lot of hate between these two. We all know Sonya was in the news lately for a horrible thing. And we hope that she's kind of all moved past that and everything like that. But yeah, so I mean,
they were together actually.
Yeah, yes, they were during that whole ordeal. Yeah, and like I said, thankfully, man, that burglar alarm went off because that guy was a psycho, a psycho. Yes, very disturbed individual. So yes, glad everything worked out there. Jody, who do you think wins? Who do you think loses their hair?
Neither of them.
Oh.
I think there's going to be a lot of interference, and I think it's going to end up being like a brawl. I think Miz and Morrison are going to get involved. I think Otis is going to get involved. Moda kind of just said it. Otis comes in to save Mandy or something. And so I think this is another one that may carry over to Payback because I think there's going to be a lot of chaos involved in that.
Yeah. Good point. You could definitely see Heavy Machinery involved. You could definitely see Miz and Morrison involved. Obviously, they were both kind of going at each other. What does the chat say? Let's see. Moda said Andrade and Garza for the last match may win the battle but lose the war. Fowl said really excited for this match, even with everything going on. Hope both of them are happy to do it. Yep, great point. Think there could be a swerve here that Mandy loses but Otis saves her and she doesn't lose the hair or something like that. Yeah, could.
Yeah.
Could happen. Sonya should lose and go for a Timothy Thatcher-like gimmick where she's a straight-up badass. Yeah.
I think it would, because of Sonya's character, with her being heel, I think it would suit her better.
Yep.
Whereas
Yeah.
Mandy's more of the face, bubbly personality.
Right.
I think either of them could pull it off, honestly, but I think it fits Sonya's character a little better.
Yeah, no, yeah, good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, obviously, yeah, the heel with the, the shaved head and stuff like that. Yeah, it gives him a little more of a mean, kind of heelish type of look. Butterspark says maybe Sonya will use the Money in the Bank briefcase as a bargaining chip against the loss of hair to Mandy.
Here's a thought. What if whoever loses, they start to shave their head? So let's say Mandy loses and they start to shave her head, but Otis comes in and saves her, and she ends up with kind of a what's her name? I'm blanking on people's names now. Where she's got like the half shaved head. Ruby Riott.
Like Ruby Riott, or
So
like
maybe we end up getting something like that they start it and then something happens and it doesn't get finished.
Yeah, that could be, or like I could see her with a hairstyle kind of like Rhea Ripley has, like something similar to that or something too. Yeah, no, it's possible. Meme Collector says I could see Mandy winning this. Logic dictates that the babyface wins in the blow-off match. Yeah. I'm assuming this is a blow-off match. I don't know. It might not be. They built this up quite a bit. The storyline's there, so it might not be a blow-off match. It might. We'll see. I mean, something's going to end up on the pre-show. So unless we get something new that they haven't announced yet, which would be obviously probably from SmackDown. So unless we're getting something new from SmackDown, they haven't announced. But I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily a blow-off match. Jeff, who do you think wins, man? Who do you think is going home with a new do?
Well, I think a new do and a renewed bit of anger and push towards a title opportunity is in the future for Sonya Deville. I think this is going to be the end of this, and Sonya will lose. I think it'll be some type of, finish where we may see a little bit of involvement from Otis or someone else. But I do think that Sonya will lose. I think she will, like Jody said, I think maybe Mandy tries to jack her hair up a little bit, kind of like Sonya did to her. But instead, she'll come out the next time and she'll, have this really cool looking new look for us. And I think that's when she'll start her tear in terms of trying to go after some major stories here and kind of move on from this.
Yeah, could very well be. Yeah, I if nothing else, I think this is the last. I think we're going to probably see of this particular feud. I don't think they're going to go any further with this. It doesn't really make sense to go any further with it. So yeah, like Jeff, I agree. I think it's time for both of them to move on. And I agree with you both. I think Sonya is going to lose the hair. I think she would. Yeah, Moda says she would look more badass with a clean scalp. Yeah, I just think this is kind of a way to make her character a little bit different, I think, going forward. So I would think so. I agree. I think that Sonya is going to lose the match. I think it's going to be crazy, like Jody said as well. We could see a lot of interference in this. We could see, Otis come down and try to rescue Mandy and things like that. So I think it's going to be a crazy match. But yes, I do think Sonya Deville is going to lose part of her hair, maybe, something like that. We'll see. But yeah, I agree with both of you on that. Nails is here. Nails says, "Hi, I'm so sorry. I've experienced mild peril." Mild peril. That doesn't.
You can't put those two words together.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I've never heard that expression before.
That's like an oxymoron.
Mild peril. I hope everything is well. I don't know. I don't like the word peril though.
I don't either.
Butterspark says Rhea and then Ripley. Yes, I did mention Rhea Ripley. Moda says, what if one ends up with half a bald head and the other half with hair, kind of like Two-Face but with hair? That's kind of how. That's kind of what Jeff. Yeah, that's kind of what Jeff was mentioning earlier. But look, they could try anything if they're gonna, full on heel kind of thing. But yeah, I would agree. I think Sonya is going to lose this match. Butterspark says, "Well, Sonya needs a title. She plays the heel really well." Yes, I agree. I think it's time for her to get a push. Nail says, "Mild peril is always in movie synopsises." Ah, okay. Synopsis is a word. Synopsis.
Synopses.
I think it's synopsis. I think, yeah, that's not, yeah, probably not. Jesse is here. Callan Corner has joined us. I'm Madam Late. Hi, guys. Hey, Jesse, how are you?
Better late than never.
Yeah, we've only gone 2 matches in, so you're good. We've only covered Mandy and Sonya, and we started off with the Street Profits match. So let's move on to the next one, and let's talk about Apollo Crews versus MVP for the WWE United States Championship. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin banned from ringside. So there cannot be any interference from the Hurt Club, and this is all MVP and Apollo. Now, I don't know. This is another one that I'm kind of wondering whether we're going to get some weird shenanigans here. I don't know. Are we going to get somebody that's going to come in and snake Apollo that he doesn't expect? And maybe, I mean, look, we had, oh my goodness, Jeff or Jody, remind me who was in the back when MVP approached him to try to get him to join them on Raw this past week. Do you remember?
No.
I can't remember his name. He approached
me on the hand. Yeah, I did not watch all of Raw on Monday.
No, it's all good. Tell me if you guys remember Raw. I can't remember. He approached someone in the back who was with that group with Ali, and my goodness,
Cedric Alexander.
Yes, that's it. Thank you, Foul. Cedric Alexander. Yes. MVP approached Cedric in the back, trying to kind of get him to come over to the Hurt Club. And then Cedric kind of went out and, did his thing, and he cost Shelton Benjamin the 24/7 title and thing. So it kind of looked like he was like blowing it off, but maybe we get a Cedric heel turn. Cedric might come down to the ring, and maybe he goes and joins the Hurt Club and somehow gets, helps MVP win that belt, because obviously he's not banned from ringside, and you kind of wouldn't expect it. You'd think, maybe if MVP is looking like he's going to cheat or something in the match, and then Cedric runs down, people kind of think that he comes down to help Apollo, and then he kind of snakes him and causes him to lose. So, yeah, there could be something along those lines in this match. We'll see. But, Jeff, what do you think about this one? Who do you think comes away with the title?
I think we see Apollo retain. I think he's actually had a pretty good run as U.S. champion, aside from being out a couple times with injury. But, the fact that the Hurt Business is banned from ringside, that's good for Apollo. I think we do see him retain, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get some type of encounter between him and either Cedric Alexander or Ricochet.
Yeah, Ricochet too. Yeah, certainly could be. Like I said, I just kind of have a weird feeling about this one. Like there's going to be something weird happening in this match, because it just seems very cut and dry. Like, that the two guys that would normally help MVP banned from ringside, but, MVP being the wily veteran, the guy who's in charge of the group, always has something up their sleeve. So you kind of think there's a backup plan here that he can have going on that might help him at ringside, because he knows, I think, in his mind that he's not beating Apollo one-on-one. I think he knows that, and I think something along those lines may happen. So let's see. Before I go to Jody, Foul says Cedric Alexander. Yes, thank you so much for I just drew a complete blank. I'd say Apollo is winning, most likely scenario, although Cedric Alexander could interfere. V9 Gaming HD says Cedric. Yes, thank you. Nail says Cedric, possibly heel turn. I think Apollo wins and retains, but Hurt Business comes down and puts a massive beat down on Apollo. That could very well be as well. Sean says synopses, I believe. Yes, I believe you are correct, sir. Team Rocket says here. Hello, Team Rocket. How are you? Welcome. Jody, what do you think? Do you think Apollo's going to retain? Do you think are going to get some shenanigans in this match?
I think he's gonna retain, and then we get some shenanigans.
Okay.
Because it said they were banned from ringside, but that typically means during the match. So I think after the match, they come down and beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, that's what Moda pointed out too. Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, it could be a thing too where it could be a lead in the Payback, because you can have the Hurt Club come down and they can, like I said, they can beat up Apollo, like Jody said and Moda said, they can beat up Apollo, and then maybe, we get Ali come down, we get Cedric come down, and it maybe leads to like a big, 6-man tag, or a 4 against 4 kind of a match at Payback. So yeah, that could be as well. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go with you guys. I think Apollo's gonna retain. I think that Apollo's, he's fought hard for this title. He's certainly put in the time over the years, and like Jeff said, he's had a good run with it so far. And I don't know that they're ready to strap a title on MVP. MVP is a great mouthpiece and perfect for Cedric and for Bobby Lashley. But I don't know that they want to put a title on MVP, and I don't know how much MVP actually wants to wrestle. I'm going to go with Cedric Alexander. Cedric Alexander. I got Cedric Alexander on the brain. I'm going to go with Apollo to retain. But I still think that something weird is going to happen in the match. I don't know exactly what, but I think something weird is going to happen. V9 Gaming says this match should be Cruz versus Lashley, in my opinion. Lashley needs a title sometime soon to stop the momentum fading, especially with the main roster booking. Yeah, Lashley does need something.
He got a little bit of a push.
Got that one chance against Drew and just got, slaughtered, and that was the end of it. He does. I agree. Lashley's put in time as well and just doesn't seem to ever get in the right storyline. I think this is a good thing for him. I think the faction's a good thing for him for now. He probably should be involved in something soon. Jesse says, hey everyone, welcome. Yes, please remember to like and subscribe. Yes, if you haven't already, please like the video. Obviously you can do so afterwards, but yes, please throw us some likes. We love that. Helps the video on YouTube, gets us some notices. So yes, please do that. And if you haven't, if you're new, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Let's see. Sean Flagstaff says, what up? V9 Gaming says, yes, this match should be Cruz and Lashley. Lashley should be a monster, not a joke. Yeah, I agree. Lashley needs some love. Absolutely. All right, so Deuce Wayne is here. Deuce Wayne, man, I love that name. So cool. MVP for the win, says Deuce Wayne. Yeah.
It's like Batman's long-lost cousin.
Yes, Deuce Wayne. Oh, I love it. Love it. All right, let's go to one of the one of the Asuka matches, shall we? Because we're getting 2. So why don't we go with Bayley versus Asuka for Asuka number 1. Bayley versus Asuka. So you're kind of thinking that Asuka's going to win something here.
She has to.
She's got two chances at it, so you're kind of thinking something is, that she's going to come away with something. It just depends on where. I guess in the long run, it's where they want her to go. If they hand her the SmackDown belt, then obviously they're going to move her over to SmackDown, and that could be kind of a little pre-draft thing, mix-up thing where they're going to, start moving some pieces around here and there. So that's why they could give her that. Obviously, she wins the Raw title. She's going to stay where she is. Now, I mean, I honestly think now Bayley and Sasha they have a match at Payback already for the tag team titles. I honestly think that this is to set up the feud everybody wanted forever. I think this is going to set up the Sasha and Bayley feud. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it. And I think what's going to happen is whichever championship match is first, this is how I think it's going to go. Whoever has the first match, whether it's Bayley against Asuka or whether it's Sasha against Asuka, I think they will win their title. Either Sasha or Bayley will win. Later on, when she faces the second person, whoever that may be, I think the other one comes down, and I think somehow ends up costing that one the title. That's what I think is going to happen, and then that's what I think is going to start this feud that everybody's been asking for what seems like years. Val says Asuka 2 belts. Yeah, you know what? I love Asuka. I do. I really, really do, and I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. However, I don't know that WWE would do it simply because it's going to remind people of Becky too much, and I don't know. I know Becky gave Asuka the belt and everything, kind of handed it over to her, but do they want to make her another Becky, or do they want to have her kind of doing stuff on her own? I don't know. I don't know if they go that way. They very well could. But I don't know. I don't think she's going to get both. Like I said, that's how I think it's gonna happen. I think one of them is going to cost the other the belt, whichever one that is. I think the other is going to say, hey, what are you doing? You won your belt, so now you cost me mine, and then I think that's how it's going to start. That's how it's going to start out. So Asuka's facing Bayley first. Bayley confirmed it on Monday. Okay. All right. Well, so there you go. So see, then what I would say there, John Cena Gamer says that, is that I would think that then Bayley will win, and I think that Bayley will then cost Sasha her shot. That's what I think is going to end up happening there. So, Jody, go. What do you think is going to happen with this match?
I would prefer it the other way around.
Yeah, well, I would too, actually. Yeah.
I absolutely adore Asuka. She is hands down my favorite current woman on the roster. I absolutely love her. And I have no problem with her walking away with both belts. But what I did say is that if she doesn't walk away with at least one, I'm going to end up punching a wall because that is just not fair. I think it makes more sense given that Bayley has had her title longer and Sasha just kind of got hers. I think it makes more sense for Bayley to lose at this point. I think it's time.
Yeah.
For it to move on somewhere else. I would love to see Asuka on SmackDown. I think she'd do an amazing job. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and say that Asuka is winning against Bayley.
Okay. All right. Yeah, fair enough. I wouldn't mind that either. Guys, I am not a huge Bayley fan. So I would be perfectly okay with that. Foul says, yes, Joe, that's what I thought might start it. Yeah. And then Nails goes on to ask, where does she say? Think they'll start the feud while they're tag team champs. Yes, and I'll tell you why.
Yep.
Because that could even continue it even more. The fact that there's bad blood right there to start with, and then they get into that tag team match.
And then they lose the tag team title.
That drives it even more because then something maybe screwy happens in that match where they hit into each other, bang into each other, and then the other one thinks it's, that they're starting, and then that fuels the fire. Yep. So I do. I do think it'll start before that tag team match a little bit, and then I think it just fuels the fire even more when that happens. So they will lose a payback, and then it starts as Deuce Wayne says Asuka wins both, and eventually we get a triple threat between the three with a title unification. Okay. Who do you see taking the tag titles off Bayley and Sasha? I see an NXT team. Rhea and Shotzi have been very good together recently and fit together perfectly. Yeah, I watched them wrestle last night. Rhea absolutely destroyed. Oh my goodness, who did they wrestle? I'm telling you, man, it's been a long week. But yeah, who knows? Maybe they'll throw an NXT team up there. I mean, other than like the Iconics. Who else do you have out there that could compete with them? I mean, yeah, you could have Lana and Natalya, maybe. Natalia. Yeah, I mean,
you could have Liv and I keep blanking on her name.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm so, yeah. We are so bad with names.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. They mentioned her before, and I forgot.
Ruby Riott.
Ruby, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Poor Ruby. Good Lord, Ruby. We were very sorry.
I'm sorry, yes, Ruby.
We're having memory lapse on a Thursday. But yes, Liv and Ruby. Yeah, could be. Absolutely could be if they want to give them a nice push, give them the belts for a little bit. Moda says, I think Asuka will win because you need a women's champ on Raw. Then a seething Bayley will turn on Sasha after her match, and that sets up Bayley versus Sasha up. Yeah. Either way, I think it's going to finally start this feud. Nail says, ooh, juicy. I like it. Yes. John Cena says Rhea and Shotzi faced Ala and Mercedes Martinez. Yes. If you haven't seen that, Rhea Ripley destroyed Mercedes Martinez. Destroyed her. Like literally got her off of the ring apron and power bombed her onto the cement floor. I literally, she's laying there like she was dead. She did. She did. Yes. I would love the Riot Squad to have a title run. Yeah. Well, yeah. A lot of people, I'm sure, would. Jeff, let's go to you. What do you think here? Do you think, are you thinking along with us? Are you thinking that Bayley retains? Are you thinking that Asuka will be Asuka 2 belts? Uh-oh. I think we lost Jeff, Jody. Yes, we did. We lost Jeff.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Where did Jeff go? Jeff.
I don't know.
Oh, wait. He's texting me. Hold on. Oh, yes. Jeff is gone, guys. It's me and Jody. Jeff lost his internet. Oh, no. Oh, no. Jeff's internet's down. Down. All right. Well.
Are they getting storms again?
I don't know. It's very possible. Poor Jeff is just out in the boonies. Like I think they strung up his internet wires with like cans and like rope and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Oh man. Sorry, dude. That sucks. All right. Well, we will go on. Hey, maybe we'll have another stream that never ends, right? Maybe we won't be able to end the stream. So
Jeff lives in Mordor.
Yes, and of course, maybe Gollum, precious. Maybe Gollum is messing around with Jeff's internet. We don't know. Rusty's saying very stormy around our area right now.
Okay.
Well, there you go. That explains it. Well, anyway, so there you go. We think that Jody thinks Bayley is going to lose. I think that like I said, whichever one we find out is first. And some of you said that the first match will be Bayley. I think that person will win, and then I think the other will lose later on in the show. So, all right. So let's see. I'm sad that Bliss and Cross is over, said John Cena. Gamer. Yeah, it looks like that's the end of that. Looks like that is the end of that. I agree. Does that mean that this stream? It could be, Jesse. Yeah, we don't know.
Stream that never ends.
We might be streaming until SummerSlam. We don't know. We just don't know. All right. So now, we're not going to get it. We're probably not going to be able to change the screen. So we're going to improvise, and let's just keep talking about the rest of the card. You're going to see Bayley's lovely face and Asuka's lovely face for a while. So enjoy that as we go on to the rest of the matches. Nothing like a little improvisation to keep you on your toes.
Of course.
Let's go to what do we got next? Let's go to Dominic Mysterio with Ray in his corner versus Seth Rollins with Murphy in his corner. And of course, the stipulation is a street fight. So a street fight, no DQ. Nobody can be disqualified here. And this has a lot of bad blood. This has been brewing for weeks and weeks and weeks, it seems like. Man, you had Aleister Black involved with this for a while. You had so many people, back and forth with this. And Samoa Joe now seems like he's getting a little bit involved and stuff. But got to tell you, one of the coolest things I've heard is I've heard so many. I listened to some other wrestling shows, and I listened to Busted Open today. I heard Bully Ray talking about this, and I'll tell you, a lot of the wrestlers are so excited that Dominik is wrestling. They really are. So even hey, we even got a Fiend interview today, guys. We got a Bray Wyatt interview today where he talked about this. She asked him about which match he's excited for. He even brought this up and said he's so happy to see Dominik wrestling. He said he knew him from when he was a kid and saw him growing up. So they really seem like they're very hyped for Dominik to get into the ring.
But his only advice was don't die.
Yes, he did say don't die. Yes. Yes. It's just, if you haven't caught that, I did retweet that on our Twitter. Go check it out. It's really funny. He stays in kayfabe, which I absolutely love. Every time they interview
so
him,
funny.
it's so great. He stays in that funhouse personality. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So let's see. So hyped for Dominik versus Rollins. Yes, I think it's going to be a good one. Jody, what do you think is going to happen? No DQ, no disqualification. Where do you think this is going to go? And who do you think wins? And God, let's hope that no one loses an eye.
I say no way that Seth loses this. It's Dominik's first pay-per-view. I think they're going to initiate him with fire, and I think Seth is definitely going to win this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that very well could be how. I think Jeff is back. Jeff is back. We got to change picture. Yes.
Woohoo!
Yes. Jeff's back. All right. So we got our my co-host has returned. So we got a triumphant return in the stream. Why is Dominik starting his career so angry? He says nails straight to a pay-per-view street match. Hey, it's a heck of a way to break in.
As my mother always says, if you're gonna be a bear, why not be a grizzly?
There you go. Why not start hot? Coming in hot, baby. Absolutely. Foul says, love the wholesome interview. Funhouse Bray Wyatt. Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was great. Again, if you haven't listened to it, go right ahead and do so. But yeah, it's always cool to hear that. But anyway, so this match, this is one of those. Again, like I said, we talked earlier about this, and we talked before the stream about it. There's a lot of matches you just don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know what's going to happen with this. This is one of those. Like, you have Ray there. You have Murphy there. Can Murphy turn on Seth? We saw maybe a little bit of that when Seth was making Murphy do some things he didn't want to do. So can Murphy turn? Maybe Seth is beating up Dominik to the point, maybe Ray gets knocked out somewhere and he's beating Dominik up really badly. And then maybe Murphy kind of snaps and turns on Seth to stop him. Maybe we get that. Maybe we get Aleister Black. Aleister's been gone for goodness knows how long. People are saying they're redoing his character, and that's why he's off of TV. Maybe he's just selling the injury, and he's going to come back during this match and get, and start a feud going forward with Seth. They kind of already had little teasers of that. They both wrestled one another a few times. So maybe we get a full-blown thing with him and Aleister going forward. I'm going to say that, and the easy thing I think here would be to go with Seth, because obviously Seth is very hot. This gimmick with Seth is amazing. I mean, look at him in that picture. He just looks so smug. You want to just punch him in the face. I mean, doesn't he though? I mean, look at that picture. He's just like, oh my God, I can't stand this dude. Seth is fantastic as a heel. Absolutely fantastic as a heel. Needs to stay in that because he
never ever go back to being a face again.
Yeah, he should just stay in the heel for the rest of his career. He just plays it so well, and just like I said, so smug looking that you just want to punch him. And so that's a sign of a good heel. He's getting that reaction. He's getting people that hate him, and that's what he does really well. Look, it's Dominik's first match. Are they going to want to send him out there and have him win right off the bat? I mean, if you hear other wrestlers talking, I don't know that they will, because a lot of times they have them earn their dues a little bit before they. I mean, look, John Cena came out and lost his first match, put on a great match with Kurt Angle, but he did lose. So yeah, I kind of have to side with Jody here. I think that Seth's going to win it. I don't know how it's going to play out. I think there's going to be some crazy, crazy stuff in this match. Obviously being a street fight, you would definitely expect that, and I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to be some craziness going on. I don't know. Maybe we get some interference. Maybe Murphy turns. Maybe Aleister shows up. Not sure, but I do think somehow that Seth will get out of this, and I think. I don't know. Does the feud end? Do we have a match of Payback after this? Maybe. C says you can't punch the Messiah. Yeah. I don't know, but you just want to. You just want to. But yeah, I don't know. Does this keep on going? I mean, it's been going for a while, so I don't know that it's going to end here. It might go into another week. We'll see.
I think it could.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see what some of you are saying, but you can punch a false prophet. Jesse says. Jesse encourages it. Yes. WWE 19918 says, I want to see Dominik turn on his father. That was another thing. Like, that was talked about a lot. Like, could he
join Seth?
Yeah, like how crazy would that be if he turned heel and joined him? Man, that would be huge. Absolutely huge. So we'll see. That's another possibility. Jeff, are you with us? Because if you are, man, what do you say, man? What are you thinking about this one?
I think the fact that it's a street fight makes it a little more unpredictable because, yes, obviously Dominic's going to have Ray in his corner and Seth is going to have Murphy, but that kind of lends itself to not put so much of an emphasis on the in-ring stuff or the wrestling stuff. It can just look like a fight, which kind of eases Dominik in a little bit. I do think that Dominik is actually going to win this by, either Aleister Black coming out and helping out or Samoa Joe getting involved. I think something's going to happen where Dominik's going to pick up the win.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Jeff, let me ask you something. Since you've got, experience with wrestling and stuff like that, do you think it's easier to have your first match be a street fight as opposed to your typical in-ring match?
I think it all depends on the performer. If you have someone who seems to have the athletic ability that Dominik has, then maybe he doesn't have all of the technical things down yet, so he can do some of the high flying stuff, but maybe he's not as much of a in-ring technician. So I think this kind of hides some of those deficiencies a little bit, at least until they get him to a spot where they feel more comfortable with his in-ring work. And a street fight kind of lends itself to easing someone in because honestly, it's just going to look like a fight. It's just going to be really stiff punches and chair shots and kendo sticks and all that stuff. So it'll look more like a fight than it does a wrestling match.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Look at that. See, that's what sets us apart, guys. We got a wrestling experienced guy. He knows his stuff. Jeff knows his stuff. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. And great question by Jody. Sometimes you got to kind of take a step back and look at it that way. Obviously, he doesn't have the ring experience and things like that. So, yeah, Rusty says, in-ring experience shouldn't matter as much. I'm looking at you, Goldberg. Oh, man, we got a Goldberg knock. Yeah, look, that's a great point. That's absolutely a great point. So could very well be that's why they did that. They have him in there because, again, he just doesn't have the ring experience. So maybe it is easier for him to be in this type of match where it's just a straight up fight. Great insight, Jeff. Absolutely love it. Absolutely.
I like what Butters just said. Maybe there might be a tag match at Payback with Seth and Murphy against Ray and Dominik.
Oh, okay.
I would like that.
Yeah, could be leading there. It looks as if a lot of the matches that are going to be at Payback, it looks like we got a lot of tag team things starting up for that. So I certainly could head that way. Absolutely. Right. Let's see. What do we got next? We're rounding down here. Let's go to Let's go to part 2 of Asuka, shall we? Asuka the sequel. Asuka 2, Electric Boogaloo. Let's go to part 2 of Asuka and Asuka versus Sasha. You can kind of guess. Everything Pro Wrestling has joined us. How are you, sir? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate that. So let's go to this match, shall we? Tell us what you guys think. Obviously, you know my pick here again, and I'll just repeat it. If Bayley is the first match, or if Asuka is the first match, Bayley or Sasha is the first match, they will win. So if this is the second match, then I believe Asuka is winning this, and I believe that Bayley cost Sasha the belt. I also think I mean, I don't know. I also think that's kind of the way maybe it should go. I don't know. We'll see. But that's the way I'm looking at this. I think that if Bayley keeps the title, the other is going to cost the other the belt. So whichever one that is, that's who's going to win this match. So I do think that Asuka does win the second event of the night between these three wrestlers. And if this happens to be the second one, then I think Asuka does win this. So, Jeff, who do you think wins Sasha versus Asuka?
Oh man. See, I didn't get a chance to give my Bayley prediction.
Go ahead. You can just give it all right now. Just throw it out there.
But I do think that Bayley is going to retain.
No.
But hear me out. I do think that she's going to retain because I think it's more fun for Sasha to take that away from Bayley. So I do think that Sasha will lose here. So I don't think that Asuka will go away completely empty-handed. But I do believe that Asuka wins here, and we start to see a little more unraveling between Sasha and Bayley. And yeah, I think these two will. I think Sasha will be the one to end Bayley's reign, whether that comes at the very next pay-per-view or whenever it is. But I do think that that's what we'll see.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I mean, look,
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I'd be perfectly fine with that as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. Asuka the quickening, says Motorspark. Clever. Conrad is here. Yes, Conrad from Everything Pro Wrestling. If you haven't checked out Conrad's channel, please do so. Very cool stuff there. And we had him on an interview this past Wednesday with us, 6 o'clock. If you have not listened to that, go check that out. It was a great conversation between the two of us. So, yes, Joe, Everything Pro Wrestling. That's Conrad. Yes, that is Conrad. Absolutely. I remembered. I did remember Conrad's name. I know I forgot half the names we're talking about tonight, but listen, I'm old and it's late, so that happens. That happens when your brain is concentrating on goofy stuff all day long, and then you try to think of things at night. It sometimes just doesn't work the way that it used to. Conrad says he's been in the lab today. Ooh. We got a little Dr. Frankenstein thing going on with Conrad. He's been in the lab. Okay. All right. Moda says Sasha retains here. A sorry sport. Bayley lays out Sasha, and that sets you up for Sasha. Yeah, could be. But I think, like Jeff, I agree. I think one of the two is going to lose. I don't know which, but I think one of the two is going to lose. Jody, what do you think with Sasha and Asuka?
Now that Jeff has said that Sasha would be the one to take the belt from Bayley, I like that better.
Oh, there you go.
I do like that better. So if that means Bayley has to retain a little bit longer and Sasha loses, I'm okay with it too.
Fowl said he's been drinking and memeing. That's a heck of that sounds like fun. Drinking and memeing. All right.
That's a bad combination.
Fowl, what are you drinking? Let us know. I know Fowl's a gin fan. Fowl is a gin fan. And I'm a gin fan. I used to drink gin back in the day. So yeah, little Tanqueray and
I
tonic.
went to Science Nails because I'm a nurse. She said, lab is mentioned. I went to a Dr. Dre song. Joe went to Frankenstein. Neither of us went to Science. I went to Science because I'm a nurse.
Shall we give it a little bit of this? She blinded me with science. There you go. Science.
Oh God.
Always go back to an 80s reference, and then it's a great show. Yes. Oh, Thomas Dolby. Good old Thomas Dolby. Love it. All right. So there you go. I think we're kind of in agreement. We think that, Asuka's going to win one title, and then these guys are finally going to get into that feud that we've all kind of been waiting for. All right. So we are at a point where we are at the 2 championship matches. So let's get into championship match 1, and we'll save championship match 2 for the finale. And you probably already guessed which one we're going to save for the end. So let's talk about Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. So look, with this again, been brewing for some time. We got the punt that wasn't last night when Shawn Michaels kind of brushed it off a little bit. I told you we got some rumblings about, is Shawn gonna come out and cost Randy the title, and that will be your payback match. So much again that can kind of happen here. I was really thinking about 3 weeks ago that Randy's winning this title, that Randy's taking home this belt, because Randy just, to me, is killing it, absolutely killing it. And Drew is, the promos between these two have been fire. I love the fire in Drew. See, this is the kind of Drew I like to see. I don't like to see the guy that's in the ring and that's kind of bubbly and laughing and making fun of people. No, I like the Drew that's serious. I like the Drew that looks more like heel Drew, and that he comes at you with some fire. I like the backstory that they made about how, hey, listen, Randy, you may be the one out here talking about being the legend killer, but you didn't pay any attention to me when I came to you for advice back in the day, and I asked you, and then I lost my job. And you stayed here through the whole thing. I love that. I really, really love that. Conrad said Shawn was worried about that head of hair and no-sold the punt. He did no-sell the punt. He absolutely no-sold the punt. Maybe it was the hair. I don't know. But, yes, he did. We talked about that on our show yesterday. I agree. He no-sold that punt. He just kind of brushed it off, and he's like, nope. You saw him shake his head. Like, I'm okay. I'm just a little woozy. So, all right. So let's get into this. Where is this going? Now, on Abby's, we talked about if Randy wins and if Bray wins, Survivor Series could be title versus title, and off we go. Off we go to the Randy versus Fiend feud that everybody knows is coming and everybody wants to see. So, is Randy going to walk out with the title? I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, because, man, like I said, he's killing it. He is absolutely killing it. Randy Orton, you just detest this guy right now. You just love to hate this guy, and he's absolutely killing it. And Drew has been on fire lately, too. So let's start with Jeff. Jeff, what do you think? Who walks away with the championship belt from this?
I honestly don't know what's more difficult, this match or the one that we're going to talk about next. But, man, oh boy, I can see Randy walking out with this one, and then we get an immediate rematch at Payback. But I do think Randy's been on a tear. I don't ask me how it's going to happen, because I honestly don't know yet, but I do think that Randy's going to walk out champion, and we see Drew McIntyre begin to chase him down, but I do think Randy will find a way to get this done, and he'll beat Drew.
All right. Fair enough. So 1 for Randy Orton. Jody, what are you saying?
I'm going to agree. I think we're going to get Randy Orton walking out with the title. I'm still keeping my fingers crossed for that champion versus champion at Survivor Series. I think they're going to wait and give Drew the belt back when they can have fans in the building.
Okay. All right. Let's see what the chat's saying, and I'll give my pick. Sean Flagstaff saying, it's alive. It's alive. Foul saying Drew and Orton will be blooming fire. Yes, I agree. I think it's going to be a great match. No clue if Edge is healed up yet, but if he is, we could see him cost Randy? I don't think so. No. He's supposed to be out until sometime next year. I don't think we see Edge Randy until possibly WrestleMania. of next year because I think Edge is going to be out further than that. If anything, we might see someone else come back and haunt him, whether it's maybe it's Christian, maybe it's somebody else that he kind of took out, but I don't think we see Edge back yet. Flair with a swerve and cost Drew the belt, possibly Butterspark, but I don't think so because again, I think Flair has been written off of TV, so I don't think we're going to see Ric Flair. So WWE 19918 says Shawn Michaels cost Drew. That's what I think. Cost Drew. Ooh, okay. Well, that would be a swerve, wouldn't it? Conrad says HBK is my favorite too. Yeah, HBK is awesome. Shawn Michaels is great. Truth be told, we're back to Asuka, says Moda. Asuka should have all the flipping belts because she's Asuka and she's that darn awesome. Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right, there you go.
Belts.
Jody definitely will agree with you there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fowl says intense Drew is best Drew. Yes, I completely agree. Completely agree with you. I absolutely agree. Fowl says that was Austin Aries' level of no selling. Drew's hair is very black on that picture, not a gray in sight. Well, you know. You got hair dye out there, you know, you can do that for anybody. Randy versus Fiend is money. Yeah, man, that would be amazing. All right, so here's what I think. Like I said, I was really siding Randy. I think, see, here's what keeps me from picking Randy. If they have Randy win this, who do they boost up to be the guy that's going to chase him? Who does Raw have that's going to chase Randy Orton? That's what I wonder. Now, I know we're getting the draft in October, so there's that. They can move people, around. They can bring people up from NXT. So who goes after Randy Orton? Does Keith Lee lose? Does Keith Lee come up? Does Keith Lee go after Randy Orton? Maybe. And then look, there you go. There you go, Conrad. I see you, man. I see you. Call up to stick up for NXT against Orton. That would be, I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it. But I don't, as of right now, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Could we get a rematch at Payback maybe? Because, I mean, I don't know. They don't even really go by the rematch clause anymore. You don't even see that really used much. So does Drew use it and say, I want my rematch, and they have a rematch the following week? I don't know. I don't know. And then where does Drew go? That's another question I have. If he doesn't have that title, where does he go? So, and I don't know. I can't answer that. So I think because of that, because of those two reasons, I'm going to say Drew retains. And I wasn't thinking of that before. And believe me, it's not the outcome I want, but it's the logical outcome that I'm thinking of right now because I don't know where he goes if he loses. And I don't know where Randy goes if he wins. So logically to me, I think it's just too much not knowing. And I think it's too much. I mean, listen, I don't have all the faith in the world in WWE's writers. So I just think maybe that's a corner they can't dig themselves out of, at least not right now, unless they do NXT call-ups or anything like that. And who knows? Maybe that's what it will be. But I think Drew retains. I think Randy, maybe there's some interference. Maybe some of these people at Randy's punted come back to haunt him. Some people in the chat had said maybe Shawn Michaels comes out and super kicks Randy and something, Randy goes down and Drew gets the win that way. I don't know. But I'm thinking Drew. I'm thinking Drew retains. And that's the reason why. Conrad says I could see a short Orton run. Yeah, he could. Randy is so over right now going. Randy says nails. He is very over. Absolutely very over and is excellent. Randy is Jeff has said this. Randy's at the top of his game. Randy is, 20 years in, is at the absolute top of his game right now. So just so good. So good. Going Randy over Drew, actually phrasing, says Foul. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Popular point. And I was on that same bandwagon. Motivated Orton versus motivated Lesnar. Whoa. Well, wouldn't that be something? Heel versus heel. Wouldn't that be something? Yeah, that could be. I mean, Brock, he's still out there. He's, he's going to be coming back at some point. The poster.
That's the point too. Brock never got his rematch.
Very true. Yeah, that's very true. C said the poster for Payback is Drew smashing glass with a claymore. Yeah, I mean, again, I just love this. I absolutely love this because we don't have any idea. We have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know what's going to happen. And man, I love it because all that much better for when the results happen. You're not going to see it coming. You don't have an idea. You don't know what's going to happen. Andy Hammond says Orton will win. I mean, everybody seems like they're on Randy's bandwagon, and I don't, I can't say you're wrong. I can't say you're wrong. Conrad says Vince doesn't get the benefit of the doubt since 2011. Yeah, man, I get you. I get you. I completely understand that line of thinking.
He brought up a good point too. He said Retribution tried to shut WWE off during Drew's promo, so maybe Retribution attacked Drew at SummerSlam.
Let's hope Retribution just does something. Because, like I said, I'm almost at the cliff there. I'm kind of teetering on the edge of that little cliff with Retribution because, man, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know what to make of it. So, I mean, if that happens, okay. I'm good with that. I don't know that that'll happen in such a marquee matchup though. But hey, if they're going to use that to further that storyline, then I'm okay with it. And all right, here we go. Finally, we are at the Bray versus Braun championship match. The Fiend, he's on the poster. The Fiend, this is the culmination of this story. The story is going no further than here, guys. They are not having a match at Payback. The story is over in SummerSlam. They've been doing this for months, and this story ends here. Now, we talked about this on Abby's a lot. And we discussed what we thought was going to happen a lot. And so, I mean, you obviously, you probably all have an idea of what we kind of think here. We've talked about, what part is Alexa going to play, if any? What is going to be, as much as any other match, I think the entrances in this is going to be
oh my God.
I think the entrances are going to be fantastic in this match. There's rumors that Code Orange is going to be there to play the Fiend's entrance theme. There, does Braun come out in a mask? Do we see a completely different, side of him? But this is going to be a spectacle. And I don't know whether it's going to be the main event. Bray has main evented a couple of pay-per-views now. So I don't know. Again, I don't know what to make of this match. I was on the line thinking that, all right, they want to have a different person for, the face of SmackDown. And, Braun has had a good title run, but is this the time to right a wrong for Vince and give him that belt back? But again, then we get into that whole point of who chases Bray. And does that knock Bray off the axis of what he's been doing storyline-wise? Again, this is just so up in the air. I'm going to think it over for a little bit to come with a final answer. But, Jeff, go ahead. You go first. What do you think is going to happen here? And who do you think comes out on top and wins the belt?
So you put me on the spot again. I'm not.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
No, I think number one, I'm just really excited for this match. Everything that surrounds it. So the entrances will be huge and all of that stuff. But what I think will happen is I think that Braun will go out and, obviously he's going to be changed in some ways. I don't think that complete transformation happens before the match. I do think that the Fiend will win, even though I go back and forth on it, especially after last Friday. But I think the Fiend will win, and here's why I think that. I think the plan is to possibly send Braun over to Raw and have him wreak some havoc there. And I think we see a cinematic element at the end of this match where we see Braun finally, accept what he is now, and he loses the championship, but he gains this new persona fully, and he gains that mask. And listening to Bray Wyatt doing that interview today when he talked about both men will lose something, I think the Fiend will lose the freedom of being able to just attack at random. He will no longer be the hunter. He will be the hunted. And I think that's what the Fiend loses in this. Is that now he's got
we did talk about that before the stream started.
Yep. So I think that's where we see that loss for the Fiend, is that now he's got to go and defend this thing and be the hunted. So that's my prediction.
Interesting, man. Love it. Very interesting. If you listen to that interview, and hello, DJ B. Tazzy, joining us from his baseball game. Glad you could join us for a little bit. That's a great point, dude. That's an absolutely great point, saying that they're both going to lose something. If you haven't listened to that interview, go check it out. But yeah, maybe that's what it is. So Bray gains the title, but he loses the ability to continue on with his story. And he has to now be the hunted. He's the one that people are going to come after instead of being the one who is the hunter. Conrad wants to know, is the Fiend now, or Bray as a babyface? Yeah, you kind of got a little bit of that, right? You kind of thought maybe that he was coming to Alexa's rescue at the end of that show. So I don't know, man. I don't know. You know what? I had a cool thought too. Somebody mentioned something about the audience changing. Who said that? Somebody said about the audience glitching out when when Fiend would come in, like have the audience kind of glitch out in the Thunderdome.
That needs to be the Fireflies.
I just was going to say, how about if they tell people to turn the lights on your phones and just have all the people holding up the lights on the camera? Oh man, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I don't know how good that would come through on a like a picture of a shot of a light coming through on another camera, or like a recording that way. But man, would that be cool?
I think that would be too difficult. I think what they do is just turn the screens, like the people that are there just get paused, and they just have them all as
and
lights.
Just have lights. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would absolutely be awesome. Nail says, I hope the change in Braun is that every time he tries to say, get these hands, he quacks. Oh, God. That would be a heck of a change, wouldn't it? Butterspark says, yes, that interview was telling. Listen, we've all learned that every time Bray does something, he's saying something without saying it. And even if it's an interview like that seems all absolutely a bunch of nothing, there's something being said. There's absolutely something being said. So, all right, Jody, I'm going to put you on the spot because I still don't know what the hell I'm going to say. So go ahead, Jody. What do you think is going to happen?
So we were talking about this before the Fiend, before the stream started, about that interview that Bray did today, and saying that, only one will leave the ring, and that both of them would lose something. And my point was, well, what does the Fiend have to lose? Because he also said in that interview that you can't kill the Fiend and you can't hurt the Fiend. So I said, if you can't kill it and you can't hurt it, what does he have to lose? And I love Jeff's light bulb that's what he loses. He loses the freedom to tell this story the way he wants to, and becomes the hunted again with that belt. So I still think that the Fiend emerges victorious. There are going to be some cinematic elements, I think, because one other thing that Bray mentioned that I don't think anybody else has said, he said something like, this match, I don't think the ring or the building could contain this match. So I don't necessarily think they stay in the ring.
Okay.
because that one jumped out at me too, because he said the ring and even the building can't contain this. So I definitely think the Fiend emerges victorious, because we got the same thing when he won the belt last time. They didn't stay in the ring. So I think this may go all over the place, and that could be cool for the fans too, if they go outside the ring and start going into the stands. I don't know. I think that would be pretty neat.
Could you imagine, like, what? Could you imagine somebody's face, like, right there when they're outside in the thing?
But I do think the entrance alone is gonna be like a brain orgasm.
Yeah.
I almost think I'm more excited about the entrance than I am of the match, because that entrance is gonna be mind blowing. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I agree. The entrance is going to be awesome. If they do have Code Orange playing there, and he comes in, like, I think C Wrestling mentioned, how cool would it be if they were all dressed up as one of the puppets? Like, if they had one of them had a pig head on, one of them had a rabbit head on, like one of them had a.
Or if they're all dressed in Fiend masks.
Like all wearing some kind of a mask. The entrance is going to be awesome. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Whether or not Braun comes out in a mask, and maybe he won't. I mean, we're all assuming the boar mask and stuff, and maybe that's not part of the plan yet. Yet. Maybe he changes, like Jeff said, if he goes away for a while and then comes back and ends up on Raw. Maybe at that point, that's when we see Braun come out as this kind of creature instead of just the monster. So maybe that's when we see that happen. Maybe Braun will come out like he has been, Braun, Big Show Strowman, I guess, with the bald head. Maybe we'll just get the bald head. And he'll just come out the way he has. But
I think Jeff is right too about Braun possibly going to Raw. I think that would be a good fit for him. And in order to do that, he's got to drop the belt. So I don't think Alexa plays a part in this. I think this is going to be finally monster versus monster, and it's just going to be the two of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't bring myself to say that because Alexa's been involved in this so far along the line that something's not going to happen. Here's what I don't want. I don't know that anybody wants this, because I've heard other people tell me the same thing. I know Moda doesn't want it either. I don't want this to be a swerve. I don't. I think people will feel very, very upset and dissatisfied if this is all for a swerve. If this is all like Alexa and Braun playing, and this is all to swerve the Fiend, it's a possibility. It was listed on Bleacher Report's report about possible outcomes for this. It was always out there, because you kind of always thought, are they playing him at this point? And it's certainly an option. I don't think it's a good or a smart option, and I'm hoping it's not the one they go with. I do not want to see. Whether I'm still pulled in by the moth to the flame comment. I am still pulled in by that. That comment just intrigued me from the start of the time that she said that. So I still think there could be some sort of involvement at some point. I don't think it's going to cost anybody the match. I don't think it's going to allow somebody to win the match, but I think there's going to be something that happens, whether it's a shock to Bray or a shock to Braun with Alexa. I don't know what it is, but I think she will be there in some capacity, and there will be something that is going to, at some point, turn a tide in this match. Then, of course, I think Alexa goes on and changes back into the personality we all loved, and she becomes a heel, and she goes back to that, and that's what the Fiend did to her. And I think that's where we see Alexa head after this. Butterspark says yes, and you know what? I was just going to bring that up. There's a poster out there. There's a poster out there with the two of these guys on it, and it says Falls Count Anywhere. Now, I did not know whether or not it was photoshopped, whether somebody made it up, or whether it was a spoiler. I didn't know. And I don't want to say anything about it because I don't know if it's true. But
I saw that too.
Yep, we could hear that. We could hear that because we were, they told us that Bray can pick a stipulation. Bray can pick a stipulation, whatever he wants, So could this be a Falls Count Anywhere match? You know, it very well could, because that could be what happens on Friday, is that Funhouse Bray comes out and says what the stipulation is going to be. That goes with Jody's thing about how the building can contain it. So it fits right in. But yeah, if that's true, and if that was an early spoiler, then I would think so. So here it is. I'm just going to come out and say I think the Fiend wins the title. I think it's going to be a brutal match. Bray said it was like Godzilla versus King Kong. Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. And correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but did not I say that on Abby's? I'm pretty sure I used that as a reference. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I used that as a reference, and I said a battle of the monsters. And I go back and listen, because I swear I said Godzilla versus King Kong. That is amazing that he said that when I heard that.
So does that mean that Bray's been listening?
Well, I don't know. I don't know, but I'll tell you, man. Yes, it is going to be a battle of the monsters, a battle for the ages. Yes, see, now it's coming back to me. I did say it, because I said Godzilla versus Kong, and then I said Freddy versus Jason. So yes, I do remember saying that. So yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. So we, look, this is going to be just an all-out war. And whichever one of them loses, I think will go on to, if Braun loses, I think, yes, it's a good possibility he will get moved, go on over to Raw and start something with the faces in Raw and things like that. Bray will go on to, who knows? It's hard to say after that, because I don't know. Does he go up against Jeff Hardy? Does Jeff Hardy challenge him? Which would make sense with his storyline. I don't know. I don't know where he would go after that. So we'll see. So what are you guys saying? Anna Dawes has joined us. Hi, Anna. How are you? Really looking forward to this match. We need a Cena appearance and a heel turn. Well, now, John Cena. We haven't heard from John Cena in a while, right? Interesting. I don't think you're the only one who said that. I think I saw Cena's name mentioned. Another person may have mentioned that as well. Meme Collector said a cage match is a stipulation and try to keep the match contained. Now that they moved to Amway, it's a possibility. They couldn't have done it in the Performance Center, so it can be. It kind of makes me a little cringy when I hear Cage and the Fiend, simply because of what they did with Seth and the Hell in the Cell. I get cringy. But we'll see. I hope they have some plants in the crowd. The Fiend and Braun tumble through some homes and are on some. Yeah. Who knows what that crowd will have? Yes. Which match will be more violent? Lee versus Cross or Fiend versus Braun? Both are going to be very, very good matches. Very good matches. Will Alexa play a role, Rusty? I think so. I don't think she will cause anyone to win, but I think she does come out at some point, and there's going to be something kind of shocking about the appearance. I don't know what it'll be, but I think, yes, I think we will see her, but I don't think she causes anyone to win or lose. Moda says, I think we'll see other people involved in this match. Alexa, Cena, Buzzards, Bray, Funhouse Bray said everyone will lose something, not both men. So who besides Braun and Fiend will lose? Well, like Jeff said, maybe each one of them loses something. Maybe the Fiend loses that ability to continue the storyline and ends up having to be the hunted instead of the hunter. So, yes, let's see. What will Alexa's role be, says Butterspark, to help the Fiend and partner with him eventually, or to help Braun overcome the Fiend? Yeah, I don't know. But I do think she's going to be involved there somewhere. Definitely something in the tagline for SummerSlam. You won't see it coming. And Cena's tagline, you can't see me? Oh, okay. All right. We need a Cena let him in reveal. Okay. Yeah. I mean, everybody said they're going to turn Cena. Christopher LaVenture says, I want John Cena to return because the tagline is called You Won't See It Coming. That's a good call, man. Both of you. Anna Dawes and Christopher, good shout. Yeah, good shout. Let's see. Conrad says, Otis. You're not the first person that has said that to me. I'm talking to some people at work today, and they had said maybe Otis comes in and cashes in when these two guys are just, down on the floor. Maybe Otis gets in there. Another possibility as well. Cat Girl says, I can't wait to see Fiend and Braun's match. It's going to be a slaughter. It's going to be a great match. I have a feeling because lately they've been going against one another. So I think it's going to be crazy for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Please don't Otis cash in, says Butter. Sparky does not want that to happen.
No.
Man.
I still think Otis is giving that briefcase to Mandy.
That would be cool. Look, he was talking about. I mean, there was rumor he was going to give that up for the tag team belts at one point in time too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's possible. Bray said, "Lose something, not both men. That leads one to believe other people will be involved in the match." Is Retribution confirmed? No, no foul. Sorry, no. There's no. There's no Nails asked me that. Sorry, I was reading both of your comments one after the other. Is Retribution confirmed? No. They never said anything about Retribution being at the pay-per-view. So no, absolutely not. Didn't King Kong defeat Godzilla? I believe so. There have been a lot of King Kong versus Godzilla movies over the years. Foul says John Cena coming live via satellite on all of the boards. John Cena takes over the Thunderdome. Yes. I think there will be an OMG moment at the end of the show, and keep the shot going. Please don't let it be Otis. Dear God, no, says Anna Dawes. Yeah, I don't know. I think that might be a little bit cheesy. Yeah, I agree. I think that may be a little bit cheesy. Otis says, Foul says, Otis, you'll never see Ham coming. Love it. Ham. Alexa chooses their winner, says WWE 19918. Foul says the Flying Pigs are just a little slimy. They're still good. Plus heel turn for Cena. Yes, please. Yeah, that would be awesome. Again, I don't think anyone would expect it. Cena's been gone. There's been no mention of him at all in any place. So yeah, that would be really cool to see John Cena come out as a heel. We kind of thought we would see it, and maybe this is it. So there you go, guys. We have hit on everything, and SummerSlam, and we've talked about the arena and the entrances and what stuff is going to look like. Just again, to say that we're fired up for this is an understatement, because I think this is going to be amazing for more than one or two reasons. The matches, the build up, the hype, the new venue, Thunderdome, obviously. The fact that we're doing it is very exciting for all of us, because it's going to be our first WWE pay-per-view watch along. So I'm very excited for that. And I absolutely think that this is going to be a really, really fun pay-per-view. A lot of build up here, and it doesn't look like, for the first time in a little bit, that we are going to have cinematic matches. Maybe we'll get little cinematic elements. Maybe they could do something different with the cameras and stuff and the drones that they have around the Thunderdome. So maybe they don't need to necessarily do cinematic matches. But yeah, maybe that's why, obviously this is the first time in a big event we haven't heard of a cinematic match. So Anna says, looking forward to this weekend. Yes, we are too. We absolutely are. Foul says, really excited for you guys. Thanks, sir. Really appreciate that. Yeah, we are absolutely excited to do this. Good luck with the watch along. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And we hope you guys can join us. I know that there have been, there are a lot of other people out there that are doing watch-alongs. And if you can get a chance to stop over, please do. Stop by, say hello, listen to what we've got to bring to you, because, sometimes with two or three people going at the same time, and even though we're getting all hyped up and crazy and, probably going to be going bananas when we see stuff going on, it's three different people, and it's always kind of fun when there's a group of more people talking and getting excited and getting crazy. So, yeah. Please join us if you can this coming Sunday. Pop by, even if you normally watch other shows and things like that. I totally understand that. But yeah, pop in and say hello, and check it out, and kind of see what we have got going on. And before we go, again, tomorrow we have Hot Tag with Jeff, flying solo, talking about JYD, a Junkyard Dog on the Hot Tag tomorrow at 6 p.m. Saturday is NXT TakeOver, a huge event on Saturday. And again, super, super excited for this. Conrad says, support each other, wrestling community. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Absolutely what it's all about. And yes. So yeah, Foul, we're pretty, we're getting there, man. We're pretty much done. Has Vince been here tonight? He will. He's coming right at the end. But yeah, and then of course Sunday, the big one, SummerSlam. We're going to start a little bit early to chat with you guys, and we're going to go right through until the end, and then we'll have a little bit of a post show after as well. And then of course Monday we've got Abby's with Jody, and Kyle Scarborough is here on Monday to talk about what just happened the day before with his friend Bray, and what, you know, has he done some artwork for this thing
and some exclusive content?
Yeah, we've got Kyle with some exclusive stuff as well. So excited for Monday. Yeah, so oh man, so good. We got a big jam-packed weekend. And yes, Nails, Vince says, this is such good shit. Yeah, there you go. Vince is making an appearance. And oh, man. Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And really, really appreciate that. If you can, please go and like the video after you close out. Make sure you give the video a like. Really helps us out. We really, really appreciate it. Subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already. Share the video as well so that your friends can hear it and see it. And yeah, we will be coming back with you very soon. Jeff will be with you guys tomorrow, and we will see you again on Saturday for NXT TakeOver. Guys, listen, stay safe. Have a great rest of your night, and we will talk to you all. Jeff will talk to you all tomorrow. I will talk to you all. Jody will talk to you all on Saturday and Sunday. We will see you all soon, guys. Take care. Have a great night, everybody.